I think it's worth observing a very interesting small story at the moment about Ian Hislop. Ian Hislop is the fellow from Have I Got News for You and Private Eye, and he's been giving evidence in a Commons committee. And he's been talking about Sleaze and about the need to repair our public life. He also very interestingly talks about the second jobs of many MPs. And this is not like simply taking a second job to make sure the mortgage is paid. This is why do so many MPs and cabinet ministers and sort of lawyers take jobs that where they're representing a parliamentary constituency and going off to the Caribbean and doing some sort of legal job on the side? Well, they take these jobs because of the parliamentary connection. Because in real life, they may be dull as ditch water. Nobody will probably pay them to empty the waste. But once they've got that parliamentary connection, suddenly doors are opened, because even if they are still, frankly, useless, the people they know are not. And whether they are aware that they are using their connections, of course they are. Of course they are, and that is why their second job is so valuable. That is why people want to pay them thousands of pounds to have them on their writing paper. It dignifies the other business. It dignifies the other business to have an MP on the board, and particularly if it's somebody who has been in the cabinet. I'm sure that Boris, once he goes, will be inundated with requests for sinecures and even real jobs. I'm sure people will want him on their boards. He won't be out of a job, and probably for the first time in his life he'll be able to pay all his bills. Congratulations. But that isn't a result of him being significantly more interesting as a result of the connections that he's acquired. Now, some politicians, some MPs, have been anticipating that issue and getting those jobs while they're still in office. I have no problem with somebody doing two jobs at the same time. I often have. I have a real problem with a member of parliament doing it, because they're cashing in on that special job that they're doing at the moment. And they're abrogating their duty. They should be spending all their time, representing the people who voted them in. Not running off to the Caribbean. Not sitting on some sort of reality game like Nadine Dorries. It's simply outrageous. And given the fact that Nadine Dorries has sat on two, not one, two, or maybe even three reality shows, I find it extraordinary that she cannot do her job in office, and she cannot be bothered to respond to a letter, and a very detailed letter, that I sent to her in September with proposals to improve the situation. I find it extraordinary that she hasn't got the courtesy to respond, and number one, even the courtesy to write me a letter and say she's not interested. But I find it even more shocking that she hasn't invited me as I requested to have some sort of meeting, albeit even on Zoom. What an appalling waste of experience she demonstrates. If she's going to take time out from doing the job that she's been elected to do, she ought to at least respond to something that is connected to that time that she spent. Otherwise, it's just time wasted. And I don't think I want to be governed by a minister who wastes time like that. I think this is self-indulgent and inappropriate. And out of the particular people in government at the moment, I think Nadine Dorries should go as soon as possible. Nadine Dorries is a waste of space in government. She should quit the cabinet table as soon as she possibly can. She should not aspire to any other office. She should hang her head in shame, because she cannot do the job that she's been elected to do.